Well guys, it is now time to react to another Monster Truck event, and this one is very special to me, as I am going to react to old Monster Jam events, back when they were good. And this one's very special because we're going to watch the very first Monster Jam event I ever saw, New Orleans 2000 Racing. Oh, how nostalgic it's been so long since I've last watched this. And I've wanted to react to these old videos for a long time, and I had no way to do it because they would always get copyright claimed by Feld because they're Karens and blocked worldwide and all that. So I've been thinking of a solution that could so I can do this, and I finally thought of one. And you're seeing it right now, where I have the video at the bottom of the screen over there, and me up here with the webcam. Hi, it's been a while since you last seen me physically, so yeah. Hope this did work with my test earlier a few days ago, so hopefully it works again. Although the only problem is I don't have an music playing in the background, which I did in my test video, so I have no idea if it's gonna be enough my commentary alone to get past the audio claim. Possibly, I have no idea. So yeah, that's a big concern. I can do all this and still gets blocked worldwide because we hear audio, therefore blocked. So hopefully it doesn't do that. So anyways, guys, it's time to react to Monster Jam New Orleans 2000 Racing, the very first event I ever saw on Monster Jam, and this means so much to me. So anyways, let's get this started. Back when it aired on a good old TNN, if any of you remember that. And I have the volume kind of low, so I have no idea if any of you heard it. And what they're showing right there is Monster Jam from New Orleans 1999, when Dennis Anderson, his freestyle, did that wild hit on the drag wall barrier and did like corkscrew in the air. And by the way, that was huge for 2000 standards. And I'm gonna be talking about, it's gonna be so nostalgic watching this stuff again, talking about how Monster Jam went. And of course, I hate that right there because they're gonna spoil one of the most insane moments too in Monster Jam history back then. Oh, beautiful sight right there. And now enjoy classic intro. So nostalgic. I wonder if maybe I can... this is kind of risky. Maybe raise it just a wee little bit. There we go. So yeah, back when it was called Motor Madness instead of just Monster Jam on its own, as there's Dan Moriarty, who was the main announcer for Monster Jam. Well, not the main announcer, the interviewer back then. And then of course 2001 when they add Kate in as well. So nostalgic. Watch this stuff again. Yeah, and funny thing too, back then, before 2000, freestyle was not like how it was nowadays. Freestyle was more like just like an encore after the event. Like race was the main thing, and then maybe they go out to do something for like an encore. That was it. 2000 was the first year they really did freestyle as a competition. And even then, you might notice, when I get to freestyle, you're going to notice like a lot of stupid things they did back then where like trucks would freestyle 2 at a time. Ugh, it was so dumb back then. So awesome. And of course, we're going to be seeing, there we go, Mike Hogwood and Scott Douglas. And I'm sure we all know Scott Douglas, but if you don't remember Mike Hogwood, he was the main announcer for Monster Jam back then. Rest in peace, unfortunately. Still think he's one of the best announcers. I know a lot of everyone says Ken Scout, but Mike Hogwood is for me. Just too nostalgic. And none of the announcers nowadays are anywhere close to these guys. Ugh, it sucks so much. And this is St. Louis style racing too, this event. Yeah, about that. Gravedigger had a horrible year in 2000, and you're going to see a good reason why in racing coming up. So yeah, this was the field for the event, as there was Nitro. And yeah, look at the air it got to off that little ass race lane. Oh, I hate it so much too when they showed like freestyle footage as well, especially for racing. To show pictures, not like actual footage. We saw Dan Evans Destroyer, Ron Nelson busting loose, who caught on fire the previous week in San Antonio. Show Cypher the Airborne Ranger. They don't even show other one. As, hey, look! Tom Vance and Mr. Excitement. Oh, man. And these two, Jim in particular is going to have a very famous moment in this event we'll be seeing later on. And for all of you youngins that don't remember, Tom Meents in 2000 was absolutely dominant. Now that I think of it, of all the events I saw of Monster Jam in 2000 that were like aired on TNN and all that, I think he won every single racing event except for, I think, 2 of them. Spoiler alert, this is one of the events he did not win racing in. Like, 2000 season was probably the most dominant season in Monster Jam history in terms of, like, racing. Tom was pretty much undisputedly unstoppable. No one could stop him that year. And a big reason why was because Gravedigger had a terrible year. And a good reason why is you're going to see in this event. And of course, promoting Mr. Excitement because of what he did probably too afterwards. And here comes Dennis in unlucky number 7. So awesome. Watch this again. That was... Oh, it is. It's New Orleans still. Yeah, Grader had a rough year that year. Struggles. I don't know if it happened yet, but in one of the events, there's Mr. Excitement. Like, he had a horrible landing the previous week in San Antonio that I don't think he was able to freestyle, and he had a terrible event in San Antonio. I don't know if it happened yet. There's Rob Nell and NWO. Rest in peace now, unfortunately. Oh, God. So they're not going to say who it is. But I don't remember if it was before or afterwards. There's Tom Meents and Classic Goldberg. I don't know if it happened beforehand or not, but Indianapolis, he had a horrible event as well. He broke in racing. He had like a complete meltdown across the track. They had to like shut him down and such. I don't know if that was before or after this New Orleans event. Like going to this event, Grader just had a terrible year, and it's going to get worse after this event. You'll be seeing why too, as that was the racing bracket, which I was too busy talking to really explain it. Yeah, like I said, Tom was just dominant that year, and Dennis struggled. It wasn't just Dennis, it was great they were struggling all year. Classic Tom and Dennis rivalry. But racing was, if I remember correctly, in round 1, because they didn't show qualifying back then, if they even did qualify back then. It wasn't until 2001 where they actually showed qualifying. But it was, if I remember correctly, it was Avenger and Nitro, Goldberg and Gunslinger, Destroyer, NWO and Airborne Ranger, and Bustin' Loose and Gravedigger. I don't remember the exact orders, so I think Avenger and Nitro was the first race. Yep, the Jam Pack, where they would talk about, like, usually one driver at the event, do, like, a whole segment about him. So now we're going to talk about Mr. Excitement. Oh, that was the season opener for 2000 Minneapolis. Jim Kohler finished second freestyle that event because he was so awesome with a Wild Cyclone. But Tom Meents and Bulldozer won it. Ah, classic Monster Jam action. Back when he wasn't quite Mr. Excitement yet. Like, first time I remember when he became like Mr. Excitement was in World Finals 2 after his insane freestyle in that event. This was before when it was more like Calm still. You're seeing Calm Jim Kohler now, people. And like I said, guys, you're going to be seeing one of his most famous moments in Monster Jam, especially back in the 2000s for me, for him. Right for the boat. That was a wild run he had that event in Minneapolis. Maybe I should react to that in the future. Hard to believe, guys, that all these years later, he still is the only driver left that's competed in every single World Finals. '1994 Chevy S10. I gotta remember that then, because Polar Storm in MTWS from 2015 to 2021 was a Chevy S10 body. So now I know the exact paint because it was Avenger repainted. I can keep that in mind. Same goes for Destroyer, which is also Nitro repainted. But here we go. Time for racing with Joe Payne with the huge hole shot. And there we go. Huge air off that jump. But unfortunately, it ended Nitro's night in racing because it broke. Because remember, youngins, back then, Monster Trucks, even 2000, could not really take those jumps that well. And Nitro is dead pretty much, as Jim's going to get the easy victory. As long as he doesn't screw up. I mean, to be fair, Jim wasn't really necessarily a good racer, but hey, going to easily get to the semifinals with no effort. There we go. Alright, Jim in the semifinals. Yeah, like, look at that. That was a really big hit in 2000, just so you all know. Oh, why does it look like that for? There we go. Yeah, lost front steer on that hit. Oh, and by the way, that move right there you saw Jim did where he got like that power wheelie, went off the side a little bit, that's going to have some major impacts later on in the event. Yeah, like I said, that's going to be major problems later on in his famous moment. Yep. That's what drivers do. Competitors on the field, but teammates off the field. I mean, off the track. I wonder if any other motorsports leagues do stuff like that. Have that, like, teammate membership of teammate companionship like with competitors. And here we go. We're going to see Tom in his dominant season as he continued on. Oh yeah, World Finals 1 preview. Let's go. Oh, nostalgia. Yeah, I'm going to pause for a moment. That's one thing I hated back then. See, I don't really like it nowadays because they have like a different tours, but at least they have like an actual point system. Back then they had a point stand-ins in Monster Jam to determine who made the World Finals instead of doing like qualify in, like no, randomly like selected like they do later on and all that. But they would only do like 10 or 12 trucks would get into the World Finals. The last 4 or 6 would be chosen by fans. And it's so stupid. Have an actual point stands like an MTWS for crying out loud. This is something that deserves to be criticized for Monster Jam even before Feld owned. Like, that's really bad. Whoever had the 16 most points should automatically have been in World Finals 1. End discussion. And yes, that night was insane. Yeah, and one thing that sucked about that pay-per-view event was, unlike World Finals 2 and 3 where it actually was pay-per-viewed, World Finals 1 was tape delayed. So, the event happened the 25th, and then they showed highlights of it on the 26th. So it wasn't even really pay-per-view. That's like false advertisement, if anything. That's stupid. Then here we go. Airman Dan Evans. Debuting at... Was it his first event debuting at New Destroyer? Because in 1999, he even drove in the season opener for 2000 Minneapolis event we saw Mr. Excitement in. He drove a different Bull Destroyer, which was used as the paint set for Predator's first few years in MTWS. So this might be the first time we're seeing that Destroyer till like 2008. But yeah, watch this Tom just obliterate everyone. Awesome turn. Lining up for the jumps just perfectly. Like, you're just seeing Tom's dominance at 2000 fans. Except like right there where he had a little bit of a struggle. That was like his only screw up at that moment. And then look at this. Wheels, nice landing. Beautiful race in there. And yep, that's how dominant Tom was that year, as he just obliterated Airman Dan. Like I said, guys, every Monster Jam event I saw in 2000 on TNN, he made the finals in every single one of them, I think, except 2. This one and the upcoming event later on in Orlando, I think. Every event Tom competed in, I think he made the finals and that was on TV. Indianapolis, yeah, he made the finals. San Antonio, yes. Anaheim, yes. Did I say? Yeah, I think I said Indianapolis, San Antonio. He didn't compete in Houston, I don't think. New Orleans here, he didn't. Orlando, he didn't. Jacksonville, he did. Pontiac, he did. Yeah, I think that's almost all the events of 2000 that aired on TNN. And he made the finals every one but 2 of them. No, he won every race event except 2. And like I said earlier, spoiler alert, this is going to be one of them. The one event this year that was on TV that Tom did not win racing in. That I know off the top of my head. Oh yeah, and guys, that is Chad Fortune before he got driving in the Monster Trucks the next year. He was the spokesperson for NWO instead of Rob Nell, who they kept secret was driving the entire time. Even though a lot of times they weren't very secretive about it. Like, I think it was in Anaheim, they actually had whoever was the announcer for that event, because Dan Moriarty wasn't the interviewer, going, let's go talk to the NWO driver, and you literally see, like, Rob Nell, and then Chad Fortune stopped them and stuff like that. It was wild. It was, like, so obvious it was Rob Nell, but they tried to keep it a secret. Hey, Jargon Jam! Nostalgia from 2000 again. Nostalgia. There's San Antonio 2000. Or any hill, Dennis. Although, to be fair, this was how you did back then. Yep, there's classic Sky Wheelie. Get a wheelie off a hit. There's San Antonio 2000 again as well. Once again, San Antonio 2000, nice hit. Andy Slicko did. Now it's Minneapolis 2000, the season opener. Or actually, it was in 1999. Yep, hey, yeah, guys, there it is. Oh man, I can't really go back probably easily. But that was Destroyer in before this event, 2000. That was Destroyer Minneapolis 1999, the 2000 season opener. That's what Destroyer looked like in 1999. And like I said before, I would use that Destroyer body for Predator and MTWS from 2009 to 2013. So nostalgic seeing that. And Dan even had a memorable like sidewall like save in that event too. Yep, there's Tom in Minneapolis 1999 where he won freestyle that event. His last, I think that was his last event too, driving Bulldoze before Goldberg took him over. Oh yeah, Atlanta too. Atlanta was Goldberg's season debut in 2000. Tom made the finals there, I think, and he won as well. Yeah, Tom had a wild freestyle that night. And then watch that. Hits the helmet and the truck just stops. That is still so awesome that Joe Syper was able to drive despite being handicapped. That incredible setup he had. That's so nice to see. None of your business for the engine. Rob Nell as easy lead. And yeah, guys, you're seeing Rob now, probably his best season ever, 2000. Like, he was very, very good that year. And looked like Joe Servo might have got a potential penalty right there. But they were, like, really inconsistent with the rules back then when it came to, like, penalties and all that. Yeah, here we go. Easy victory for Rob now. Ah, nostalgia. So yeah, NWO now in the semifinals. So he did get the penalty like I thought. Ugly truck. Just wait till you see Chad's meltdown in Orlando. Oh, that was so hilarious. Hey, there's Gravedigger in Atlanta that year. That was when Dennis first began his struggles with that terrible race. Oh, there's San Antonio right there where he had that violent hit. And, ooh. Yeah, Gravedigger was done for a night on that hit alone. Plus, lost to Scott Stevens, I think. Like, almost, I kid you not, guys, almost every event Dennis competed in that year, something very bad happened. And you're going to see another very bad thing that would happen too come up that pretty much killed any chance Gravedigger had to make a comeback that year. Just what I was talking about earlier, I hate this so much. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. The truck should go, whoever made the World Finals should be the top 16 drivers by points. That's it. None of this fan shit. I hated when Mosham later on, even before Feld owned, when they like automatically like annoyed like people competing like every week with like those flags, remember? I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Whoever has the most points should get in. That's the end of it. It's not even like a competition or league anymore if you're just able to get in because the fans want you in. It's stupid. Yep, like one of the few old stadiums left that are still active for monster trucks, so it's nice. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a wild race come up here for both cool and bad reasons. And yep, Bustin' Loose of course is Bling in MTWS, and now Gravedigger of course is Eruption now back in MTWS once again. Although not this Gravedigger 7. Here we go, Gravedigger and Bustin' Loose, the last race of round 1. And look like Rod might have had the whole shot right there off the jump. Yeah, you see Gravedigger's already lean, but that's not the problem. Here we go, look at Bustin' Loose up there on 2 wheels, but then watch this coming up as Gravedigger is dominating. But here we go into the turn, first off right here. Ron doing bad right there, and then of course, on 2 wheels! And he's going to go over as Dennis got the win, but it's going to be costly in the end for him, as we'll see in a bit. Beautiful flip. Yeah, but it's going to cost it in the end. You're going to be seeing why in a bit. But yeah, we see Bustin' Loose got 2 wheels and just went over. Not that really... A hard hit, but really probably didn't do that much damage to the truck, though. Yeah, like last week in San Antonio, Ron Nelson in his freestyle literally caught on fire. Bustin' Loose did its brake rose. It shot a huge shit ton of sparks, too, in its run. It, like, burned out the whole rear end of the truck. So that was way worse than this. That's what happened this week was nothing compared to San Antonio. San Antonio was devastating how much damage it took. Yep. We enjoy it very much. But now here we go with Gravedigger, because this is the more pressing problem. Yeah, the truck lean, but that's not the worst thing. That was a hit too.
We busted some valving in the shop, I guess. It bottomed out, crashed on this side really hard, bottom the suspension out. It's breaking the spindle away from the housing, and it's opened the housing up. That's all the fluid's running out of it. It's looking mighty bad right now.
But you won in the first round. How's it feel to win?
It feels great to win. But when you got a finish like this, you can't come back to beat your win. It's still pretty disgusting right now.
How's your back?
Tell you what, I took a hard one that time. I really did. My back feels on me right now, but I felt it. As soon as I got in the truck, it's a little stiff, and I'll feel it in the morning probably.
You think you can get this fixed?
To be honest with you, to fix it right, no. It's not going to be fixed right. Shops have got to be revalved, and there's not enough time in this event right now to revalve those shops. We usually have spare shocks on the wagon with us, but we've torn up too many parts here in the last 3 weeks due to 4-lane bars that we don't have any spares on deck ready to go. Now we're salvaging it through parts. So we just got to go back to the parts bin and regroup for our next race. But I'm not counting it out right now. We're going to scratch up the parts, see what we can do.
Never count you out.
That's right. We'll try hard anyway.
Thanks.
So yeah, guys, if you don't understand, what happened was Gravedigger is not only damaged, not only not able to come back for racing, but it's done for a night. That's the last we're going to see Gravedigger in this event. So not only another event where Gravedigger is done for, but unfortunately, because they mentioned his back, he actually had a back injury from that last landing in racing that would knock Dennis out for the 2000 season up to World Finals 1. So that's what you saw right now was the last time we saw Dennis competing in 2000 season until World Finals 1. And after that, the season was just over for Gravedigger at that point. Charlie took over Gravedigger 7 if I remember correctly. Next time out in Orlando, and he was, oh god, it was just horrible. That whole season was just, the whole season was destroyed going into the event because Dennis said broke every single week or something bad happened, but the New Orleans breakage and his injury was the seal of the deal. That ended Gravedigger's season pretty much. Other than winning the racing title, the freestyle title in the World Finals. It was just very unfortunate. It was a horrible year for Gravedigger, and that was a big reason why Tom dominated so much in 2000. I don't even think I don't think Tom faced Gravedigger once in 2000, at least not on TV. Maybe in non-filmed events. Because I remember the Houston 2001 event was the first time Dennis and Tom faced each other. Even in just qualifying, they faced each other in the finals race, but that was huge. Oh my god, Dennis and Tom going after each other. That was so cool to finally see it for the first time. Ugh. But yeah, that was just a rough year for Dennis and Gravedigger. But yeah, I don't really care about Mudbog. Sand Drag. I want to get back to Monster Jam. Here we go. Cliff Thomas, he also would drive Nitro later on in the year. So yeah, semifinals, Avenger and Goldberg, and NWO are going to face Destroyer, who came back as the fast loser. So here we go. Start semifinals. Mr. Excitement against Tom. And Jim had the whole shot right there. But I think Tom probably got the lead over the cars. But here we go into the turn. Tom dominating again. As you can see, Jim doing horrible right there. But then, unfortunately, right here, the truck Goldberg broke. And that was it for Goldberg and racing, as Jim once again made it to the finals only because truck's breaking. Mm-hmm. You just saw the one of only 2 times where Tom didn't win race in 2000. And guys, he's not kidding when he says incredible streak. He was that dominant that year. Like when I said Tom was dominant that year, I mean he was dominant. I don't think we're going to ever see a season like Tom did in Monster Jam ever again. He was like literally like winning like every single event and racing pretty much. God, Jim, missing the ramp. Oh my God, you are so bad. You made the finals just because 2 trucks broke. That's insane. Calm Mr. Excitement, people. Where's yeah and all that. We're not gonna see it till freaking like 2001 World Finals 2 at the earliest. Yeah, that's the most you're gonna get. When Mike Hogwood is more Mr. Excitement than Mr. Excitement himself. Alright, so here we go. The last race of the semifinals. Rob Nell and Dan Evans. I believe this would probably be the first time either of these two made the finals too, if they won. I think, wasn't Rob Nell maybe a rookie that year? I don't think, but I think he was a rookie in 2000. I think. I can't think of, did he drive beforehand? And he would alternate like every like shows between driving Bulldozer and NWO that year. But here we go, Dan with the whole shot. I think they did like some sort of buy change for NWO after like each event, be it the rims or like the paint, because I think World Finals 1 became like more black instead of like gray. But here we go. Dan had to lead, but then he spun out, and that causes NWO's in the finals. Dan had right there, and he blew it. Got a penalty too. See, there's Rob Nell. It's so funny, but it's still cringe.
drive, straight to and he wins. That's the idea. Okay, what does he feel? Feels great. He's going out to win. I used to program him to be ready for the final. He's NWO, man. We control everything. You know, we roll a wrench here and there. We get focused. That's what you do with me. This job is winning.
Tom mentioned Goldberg not in the finals for the first time in a couple weeks. Let's get his thoughts.
Okay, Tom, now, this is the first final that you have to finish. But, tell me your predictions.
Yeah, guys, you heard. This is the first finals of 2000 that he didn't compete in. Because Tom was just that dominant.
And we'll see who it's going to be. New World Order or the Avenger. The turn, the key. We've got
And by the way, guys, as we're about to do this, I'm going to say this right here, too. This was the first part of Monster Jam I ever saw. The finals of racing, when my dad recorded it. This is the first part of Monster Jam I ever saw, the finals. And so, damn, how about that? One of the most memorable moments in Jim's career and Monster Jam's like 2000s history is about to happen. You're going to see it.
going over attitude. Tell you, Ron Nelson said spectacular. The fans remember him, but boy, he kept himself in the shop all winter after these couple of weeks. That is our Maylock finish.
Time for the finals. Rob Nell and Mr. Excitement. Okay, here we go. The finals. Mr. Excitement and Rob Nell. And now watch Mr. Excitement. Look at this. This is 2002, remember, people. Oh, nostalgia. What a flip that was by 2000 standards. Hell, that flip would probably be insane by even 2024 standards. But because of that, Jim is done as Rob Nell will easily, without any effort, win racing. And I think, unfortunately, his only racing win in his career that I know off the top of my head. And NWO's only win, too. Because that flip that Jim did was insane. If Jim did end freestyle, he probably would have straight up won for several years if he did that. Like, look at this. Oh my god, so awesome! Now imagine me being the 6-year-old that would just replay this over and over and over again just to see that flip because it was so insane. Yeah, and this is how it was for Jim inside. This is insane. He lost his glasses too. Oof. Man, you feel bad for any driver. I think drivers are more insulated in their seats now compared to back then, so they probably don't get like the whiplash effect. But man, that must hurt for Jim back then. Yep, guys, and remember, still the only driver left that's been in every single World Finals. Chris. Like, look at the damage he did to the frame. I'm trying to wonder if he even came back for freestyle, because we know Gravedigger was done. Oh yeah, this was a run thing. I don't know if it happened here, but there was a thing where the racing winner that week would take the checkered flag from whoever had the week before or whatever, and that was Goldberg. And I don't remember if I don't know if NWO did take the flag. I can't remember, because I know in Orlando, which I think was the next event after New Orleans, Tom lost his second race to Scott Hartsock in the finals. He took the checkered flag directly from Goldberg in the event, and then the next time they drove to Jacksonville, Gunslinger had the flag on until they faced in the finals. Tom won and he got the flag back. I think in 2001, Dennis did as well, because I mentioned earlier when they raced, Dennis and Tom raced the first time in the finals in Monster Jam between each other, other than Bulldozer, and Dennis won the photo finish. He took the flag from Goldberg in that event as well. Ah, man, that was awesome. So yeah, guys, that wraps up here. That was Monster Jam New Orleans 2000 Racing, the very first Monster Jam event I ever saw. Oh my god, it was so awesome watching again. And talk about history too with Monster Jam as well. So yeah, Rob Nell got his first and possibly only racing win in his career, unfortunately. You got to see what pretty much ended Dennis's season pretty much on in World Finals 1 and Gravedigger's season 2, because that was just a terrible year Dennis had. You saw one of Tom's only screw-ups in 2000, and you got to see Mr. Excitement, one of his most famous moments in his career, right there. And by the way, the very first thing I saw in Monster Jam 2 was that flip he did. What a way to get into Monster Jam by seeing that, guys. Unlike you youngins nowadays, who are bored to death with the crap they're doing now. But yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Maybe I'll try and soon get to freestyle of this event. And oh god, I can't wait to get to Orlando as well. That's gonna be awesome as well. In fact, if you thought what you saw here in New Orleans was awesome, just wait till you get to Orlando. Oh my god, they were doing wild stuff in racing. Hell, the stuff they were doing in racing was probably even more insane than the freestyle they were doing, because that Orlando event was just insane. And I still gotta get to the other events that are on my list too, but man, I really want to watch these stuff, because this is Monster Jam when it's good, unlike nowadays. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna be torn between doing freestyle from New Orleans or going back to the list I need to get to. But anyways, hope you enjoyed.